It is 8 AM. We have been up since 5 AM. It has been a long drive to get here.
About 2.5 hours.
But we are here at Jenolan, New South Wales, because I want to see the most unique animal in Australia in the wild, the platypus.
I really want to come back one day and visit Jenolan Caves, but they're closed at the moment because of social distancing due to COVID. But we got to drive through a tunnel and you know that was kind of scary enough. So hopefully the walk isn't too far. And hopefully we can figure out where we're going because we don't have internet out here.
We also got to drive through some of the area that was affected by the summer bushfires. But basically the whole of New South Wales almost was on fire for a long time.
A ring like around Sydney that you really couldn't escape from. A really terrible start to 2020, but it's all started to rejuvenate and regrow, which is great to see. Anyway, we're gonna go find some animals.
Hopefully see a wild platypus! So, we tried to walk through the footpath to get to the Blue Lake and the footpath is closed because they're doing road work. So we spoke to someone who works here and they said they're actually dredging the Blue Lake at the moment. So my guess is one, we're probably not going to be able to get here because we're now scaling the side of this big hill. And two, there won't be any platypus.
Still going to be a great day. There's lots to see in the Blue Mountains.
Okay, so we're now at the top of this hill. Where we wanted to originally be is there. That lake there is the Blue Lake. So maybe today is not the day for seeing wild platypus. Okay, so we're currently stopped on this path. We've got this set up. I should be taking some footage as well because there's a little swamp wallaby. He is right there. Super cool. Okay, so we just saw that satin bowerbird. So there's a couple of different types of bowerbirds and each one has a specific colour. So satin bowerbirds, their colour is blue and they're called a bowerbird. They make a nest on the ground. It's referred to as a bower, and the males build the nest to attract females, and the way they attract females is they decorate the nest, and for satin bowerbirds they decorate it with blue things. So that was really cool. So I've only ever seen them in a zoo, so that was awesome. We're a little bit puffed out because there's been a lot of walking so far today, but we've just stumbled upon a night camera attached to a tree just there. We have seen some fox bait, fox and wild dog bait, so maybe it's monitoring that, or maybe it's monitoring what is left from the foxes and wild dogs.
Or the fires. They might be monitoring what's left after the fires.
Yeah, there was also a fire that went through here at some point, as you can tell, so that could also be to monitor how well the animals are recovering since the fires. I've also got heaps of nesting boxes specifically for possums, and that is one just there, that big green thing on the tree. So it's actually really cool. We have finally made it to the look down, and as I suspected, yes, you do need to be at the top of the hill to get to the look down. We were so busy looking at that big cave entrance we didn't even notice this little guy just chilling out. Okay, so here we are at the top of a hill at Jenolan, looking over the big cave. Obviously we came here with the intention of seeing wild platypus. They are personally my favourite Australian animal, which we were not able to do because the lake is being worked on and so is the cave tunnel, so we couldn't actually get to the lake to begin with, but we persevered and we've seen heaps of cool stuff.
What's exciting is that we saw a few brush-tailed rock wallabies.
In fact, there's one listening to us right now.
There's one just down there. So they're considered vulnerable in Australia, but in New South Wales they're actually considered endangered. So that's really cool that we got to see them today.
Wow.
And we got to see a few of them. During the day they spend most of their time sleeping or basking in the sun, and they find cute little rock crevices like you would have seen one just down below. And they're actually most active during the nighttime. That's when they're out foraging and finding food and finding things to eat. So it's pretty exciting that we got to see a few of them today.
This is our first ever wild lyrebird. I don't actually think I've ever seen lyrebird
even in the enclosure at zoos.
I've seen a wild lyrebird, but never making noises.
That was amazing. I cannot explain how excited I am and how good of a day we have had so far, and it's not even midday. I just saw my first ever wild lyrebird. You've seen a wild lyrebird before?
Yeah, but only from my car. I've never heard one make noises.
That was
in the wild.
That was amazing. He was making all kinds of sounds. There was some kookaburra in there, some magpie. We think he might have been mimicking all the construction sounds that are going on here at the moment. But I have actually never even seen a lyrebird in real life. So that was really, really special for me. And also seeing that wallaby baby, knowing that those wallabies are endangered in this state, that was amazing. Sure, we didn't see a platypus and I'm shattered, but the amount of things that we saw instead, I'm super happy. I could not have asked for a better day. And I think if we had have gone and looked at the platypus, we never would have come this way. We never would have seen any of these animals. So it sucks, but I've still got the rest of my life to see a wild platypus, and you bet your bottom dollar I'ma see one.
So this building is pretty amazing, but I have a thing for old buildings, having grown up in a town called Harndorf, which was like an old historical town, and I just love buildings like this. I don't know how old it is, but we're going to go into the gift shop and hopefully we'll be able to find out in there, but it's so beautiful.
Alright, we are back in the car now. I don't want to be bold and say the best day I've ever had, but it was pretty good. Close.
It was pretty good.
It was incredible.
Just think we obviously both love animals, and you know, I've been a zookeeper for 8 years and Emily's worked at zoos in operations for about 7 years as well, so we both obviously love animals, and I think being able to see some of those animals that we love out in the wild in their natural habitat is just incredible, especially like the wallabies that were endangered in New South Wales. Just really cool.
So this is concludes our second trip to the Blue Mountains.
Yeah.
That is probably the most animals we've ever seen on a trip to any national park.
Yeah, it was really good.
So that was really cool, but this will probably be it for our trips to the Blue Mountains. Let us know if you're really liking the animal facts stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I have looked at the numbers. 72% of you are not subscribed. It's not hard. It's just underneath us right here, little red button. Click it, it turns gray. It says subscribed. That's all I'm asking, and we will see you in the next one.